thank you all for being here. Time, ready to go. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhaktavinda. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Vijaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prasharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashitade Shatarane. So we are reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita by Srila Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami. Advaita chapter 6 called The Glories of Sri Advaita Acharya, and we are somewhere in the middle of purport to text 14:15. So where we left off is what's happening in this purport. Actually, we can go back and read the translation for the Just as the external energy consists of two parts, the efficient cause, nimitta, and the material cause, upadana, maya being the efficient cause and pradana, the material cause. So Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, assumes two forms to create the material world with the efficient and material causes. So in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is explaining how there are two different groups of philosophers, basically the Vedanta. So they're similar to material scientists who think that everything came from matter, right? That life originated from matter, although they recognize that life, or the Purusha person, is different from matter, but they don't see any cause other than matter, different transformations and adjustments and interactions of energies, and that these things produce the cosmic manifestation. So now what we're going to get into is Baladev Vidyabhushan, who's one of our acharyas in the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, in his commentary on the Vedanta Sutra, which is called Govinda Vasya, it was spoken by Govinda deity. So in that commentary, Baladev Vidyabhushan is kind of telling what's what here. He enunciates the nature of pradhan, which in the verse is identified as one of the causes for the cosmic manifestation. So we're picking up here in the paragraph where Baladev Vidyabhushan is quoted as saying, material nature is inert, and as such it cannot be the cause of matter, neither as the material nor as the efficient cause. Seeing the wonderful arrangement and management of the cosmic manifestation generally suggests that a living brain is behind this arrangement. But without a living brain, such an arrangement could not exist. One should not imagine that such an arrangement can exist without conscious direction. In our practical experience, we never see that inert bricks can themselves construct a big building. The example of a water pot cannot be accepted because a water pot has no perception of pleasure and distress. Such perception is within. Therefore, the covering body of the water pot cannot be synchronized with it. Yeah, so basically, the intelligent design theory, right, is that if you see a design, there's probably a designer, right? No one looks at a work of art on the wall, like a painting. No one goes into a museum and looks at a painting and thinks, oh, somehow there was an explosion and the paint just fell on the canvas and here it is. No one thinks that. And if somebody would suggest that, they would think that's absurd. Obviously, there's a painter, there's an artist, there's someone who conceptualized this image, who has the talent to manifest it through these materials, and who has a purpose in doing so. And that's the same thing with the creation. The creation is made by an intelligent person who conceptualized what it would be, who has the potency to make it happen, and who has a purpose for bringing it into being. So, that's just very logical. Okay, would you like to read, Karuna?
Sometimes the material scientists suggest that trees grow from the earth automatically, without assistance from the gardener, because that is the tendency of matter. They also consider the intuition of living creatures from birth to be material. But such material tendency, our bodily intuition, cannot be accepted as independent, for they suggest the existence of a spiritual soul within the body. Actually, neither the tree nor any other body of a living creature has any tendency or intuition. The tendency and intuition exist because the soul is present within the body. In this connection, the example of a car and driver may be given very profitably. The car has a technology to turn right and left, but one cannot say that car itself as matter turns right and left without the direction of a driver. A material car has neither tendencies nor intuitions, independent of the intentions of the driver within the car. The same principle applies for the automatic growth of the trees in the forest. The growth takes place because of the soul's presence within the tree.
So it appears that trees are just growing automatically. And it appears that trees are just material, they're just made of matter. But what we don't see is that there's a soul within that tree, and that's the reason the tree is growing. And if we would, if the soul leaves the tree, then the tree doesn't grow anymore. Just like the same thing with the body, right? The body grows, the body doesn't grow, doesn't develop, it doesn't do all of its maintenance and homeostasis and so forth. So it's the presence of the soul, it's the presence of the person, the superior energy within matter that makes matter tick. Nikesh, would you like to read? Did you find the place?
Sure, yeah. Um, Sometimes foolish people take it for granted that because scorpions are born from heaps of rice, the rice has produced the scorpions. The real fact, however, is that the mother scorpion lays eggs within the rice, and by the proper fermentation of the rice, the eggs gives birth to several baby scorpions, which is due course come out. This does not mean that the rice gives birth to the scorpions. Similarly, sometimes bugs are seen to come from dirty beds. This does not mean, however, that the beds give birth to the bugs. It is the living soul that comes forth, taking advantage of the dirty condition of the bed. There are different kinds of living creatures. Some of them come from embryos, some from eggs, and some from the fermentation of uh, perspiration. Different living creatures have different sources of appearance, but one should not conclude that matter produces such living creatures.
So it's not that the matter produces the creatures, just that the matter provides the favorable habitat or, like the incubator for those living creatures to be hatched out of the eggs that were planted there by the living mother of whatever the creature is. Okay, Michael, would you like to read?
Yes. The examples cited by materialists that trees automatically come from the earth follows the same principle. Taking advantage of a certain condition, a living entity comes from the earth. According to the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad, every living being is forced by divine superintendence to take a certain type of body according to his past deeds. There are many varieties of bodies, and because of a divine arrangement, the living entity takes bodies of different shapes.
Go ahead, you can read another one, I'm sure.
When a person thinks I am doing this, the I am does not refer to the body. It refers to something more than the body or within the body. As such, the body as it is has neither tendencies nor intuition. The tendencies and intuition belong to the soul within the body. Material scientists sometimes suggest that the tendencies of male and female bodies cause their union, and that this is the cause of the birth of the child. But since the Purusha, according to Sankhya philosophy, is always unaffected, where does the tendency to give birth come from?
Interesting. Yeah, it just reminds me again of chapter 16 of the Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is saying that demoniac people think that this that life is just produced by sex life. A man, woman get together, have sex, and there's a baby, and that they created life. The emulsifications of their bodily secretions produce life. So it's similar to the situation of the scorpions being born from the rice, right? It's just they provide the right ingredients, right? The soul takes shelter of a particle of semen, and that gets injected into the womb of the mother, which provides an environment where the emulsifications can happen and cell division can happen, and the embryo can be nourished from the mother's body. But it's the soul that's causing the growth, and the Paramatma within soul of the soul, and that's basically overseeing and guiding the whole process. And the reason that a soul takes birth from a particular mother and father in a particular country and family and society is because of karma. And that's all, according to the Brihad Aranyaka Upanishad, every living being is forced by divine superintendence to take a certain type of body according to his past deeds. So according to our past karma, then we get a particular type of parents and a particular type of body that suits matches our karmic package for this lifetime. All right, let's continue here. Prayushi?
Yes, Abhay, I can continue. Sometimes material scientists give the example that milk turns into curd automatically, and then distilled water pouring from the clouds fall down to earth, produces different kind of trees, and enters different kind of flowers and fruits with different fragrances and tastes. Therefore, they say matter produces varieties of material things on its own. In reply to this argument, the same proposition of the Brihadaranya Upanishad that different kind of living creatures are put into different kind of bodies by the management of superpower is repeated. Under superior superintendence, various souls, according to their past activities, are given the chance to take a particular type of body, such as that of a tree, animal, bird, or a beast, and thus their different tendencies develop under these circumstances. The Bhagavad Gita 13:22 also further affirms Purusha Prakritisto hi bhukte Prakriti Jan Gunan. Karanam Guna Sangosya Sad Asad Yoni Janmashu. The living entity in material nature thus follows the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with the material nature. Thus, he meets with good and evil among various species. The soul is given different types of bodies. For example, were souls not given varieties of tree bodies, the different varieties of fruits and flowers could not be produced. Each class of tree produces a particular kind of fruit and flower. It is not that there is no distinction between the different classes. An individual tree does not produce flowers in different colors or fruits of different tastes. There are demarcated classes as we find them among humans, animals, birds, and other species. There are innumerable living entities, and their activities performed in the material world according to the different qualities of the material modes of nature give them the chance to have different kinds of lives.
So even amongst trees, there's different species of trees according to their karma, right? So there's some in the scriptures it says that there are pious trees and there are impious trees. So the pious trees, of course, the soul in the tree was not very pious in the past life to get a tree body because it's not a very exalted birth. But even it's relative, right? So relative amongst all the trees, there are some trees that are more pious than other trees. So the pious trees are the ones that produce nice smelling flowers, very fragrant flowers, right? Like ganga trees, or trees that like mango trees that produce really nice fruits. And those impious trees are the ones that just are kind of like weedy and thorny, and they don't produce fruits or flowers that are very nice at all. They just kind of grow up in the middle of fields and cause a disturbance. So, yeah. 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 So, yeah Okay, yeah, so karma is coming to play into all these species. We have the, oh, Ajit.
Hare Krishna. So how can a tree be pious or impious? They just stand there.
It's not that, I mean, it's not that the tree is not gaining pious or impious credits during its tree lifetime, but the soul, but we're talking about the previous lifetime. So whatever
Hmm.
that soul did in the previous life to make it end up being a tree, right? So it must have had all basically bad karma to end up being a tree, but some have worse karma than others. Or
Okay.
maybe some, huh?
Like a tree of Vrindavan and a tree of a bad place.
Yeah, or
I was in
even
red forest.
a thorn tree in Vrindavan, or
Yeah.
a nice,
Yeah, like here also we
neem
just
tree.
chant
The
around.
neem is a pious tree, right?
Yeah,
Banyan tree is a
people,
pious tree. People, yeah, those are all pious trees.
and then there are weeds.
Yeah, then there are weed trees.
What if we just cut the tree, like the small tree just cut? Do we get bad karma?
Yeah, you definitely get a reaction for like
Oh my
killing
God.
trees. Unless you're doing it in the service of Krishna, right? Like if you're building a temple and there's some trees growing there, and you just have to cut them down because make the temple. Okay, all right. Ajit, would you like to read?
Okay. Are we starting thus one?
Yep.
Okay, thus one should understand that pradhan matter cannot act unless impelled by a living creature. The materialistic theory that matter independently acts cannot therefore be accepted. Matter is called prakriti, which refers to female energy. A woman is prakriti, a female. A female cannot produce a child without the association of a purusha, a man. The purusha causes the birth of a child because the man injects the soul, which is sheltered in the semen, into the womb of the woman. The woman, as the material cause, supplies the body of the soul, and as the efficient cause, she gives birth to the child. But although the woman appears to be the material and efficient cause of the birth of a child, originally the Purusha, the male, is the cause of the child. Similarly, this material world gives rise to varieties of manifestations due to the entrance of Garbhodaksha Vishnu within the universe. He is present not only within the universe, but within the bodies of all living creatures, as well as within the atom. We understand from the Brahma Samhita that the Super Soul is present within the universe, within the atom, and within the heart of every living creature. Therefore, the theory that matter is the cause of the entire cosmic manifestation cannot be accepted by any man with sufficient knowledge of matter and spirit.
Yeah. So what to speak of this world being created on its own from matter? It can't even exist on its own, just as matter. It wouldn't, it just wouldn't without the presence of the super soul or the Garbhodaksha Vishnu within the universe. So in the same way that as soon as the soul, individual soul, leaves the body at the time of death, the body just starts to, degrade and basically decay. Right? Everything just goes awry within the body, all systems shut down. So in the same way, if Garbhodaksha Vishnu, if the Lord would leave the universe would just be done. The planets would just spin out of orbit, and the sun would, stop heating, and everything would just stop happening the way it's supposed to happen. Just the same way that the universe would basically die. So, yeah, the Lord is the soul within the universe that's keeping the universe alive and ticking, and everything happening in orderly ways. Oh, Hare Krishna, I wasn't expecting you back today. Okay. Lydia, do you know where we are?
Hey, Krishna, I do know where we are.
Oh, magic. Go ahead.
For once, materialists sometimes give the argument that as straw eaten by a cow produces milk automatically, so material nature, under different circumstances, produces varieties of manifestations. Thus, originally, matter is the cause. In refuting this argument, we may say that an animal of the same species as the cow, namely the bull, also eats straw like the cow but does not produce milk. Under the circumstances, it cannot be said that straw in connection with a particular species produces milk. The conclusion should be that there is superior management, as confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 9.10, where the Lord says, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Shuyate Sacharacharam. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. The Supreme Lord says, Maya Dyakshena, under my superintendence. When he desires that the cow produce milk by eating straw, there is milk, and when he does not so desire it, the mixture of such straw cannot produce milk. If the way of material nature had been that straw produced milk, a stack of straw could also produce milk, but that is not possible. And the same straw given to a human female also cannot produce milk. That is the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita statement that only under superior orders does anything take place. Matter itself has no power to produce independently. The conclusion, therefore, is that matter, which has no self-knowledge, cannot be the cause of the material creation. The ultimate creator is the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So he's giving example after example, right, to show how it's not matter that makes things happen. It's actually the soul or it's the Lord. So yeah, quoting from Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Maya Dyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. So Maya Dyakshena, Aksha means eyes, and Adyaksha means he's got his eyes over it. He's the overseer, superintendent. So he's saying by my oversight, like literally my eyes being over it. From above, my eyes are seeing it. So yeah, things are happening because Krishna is watching and he's aware and he's supervising and he's making things happen according to his will and by superior order to taking place. And Krishna has his systems for things, right? Like, even as far as a cow giving milk. So only the female cow gives milk. The male cow doesn't give milk no matter how much straw you put into it and how much good food you give it. And then even the female cow, before having a calf, she may have, udders and everything, but until the calf is born, she doesn't give milk, right? Because the system is that the milk comes when the calf is born. So, when we do things according to the Krishna system, then everything works out well. And it's other way, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You see, like when we try to do things against the nature's arrangement, then things don't work out well. When people try to, like artificially, like inject steroids into cows or something to make them give more milk, or, then you end up with problems, right? End up with health problems. Or, when they try to genetically modify organisms to make them produce food products that are, bigger or larger or whatever, what they consider big in some ways, it makes it really bad, like canola oil. So they thought, oh, this plant produces a lot of oil. It's like a derivative of this. So most of the plant produces a lot of oil, but it has a very thick and it has a very strong flavor. So they didn't like that part. So they, okay, we'll just take this flavor gene out and we'll make it tasteless and odorless. And then they come up with the canola plant, which produces this, fantastic oil. There's a high smoke that, has no taste, that produces a lot of oil. But the problem is toxic to the human body. It's like, what's the point? What's the point of having a plant that produces a lot of oil? Is to make people sick. The whole point of eating is to, nourish the body and maintain health and vitality. So it's just counterproductive to the whole thing. So anyway, we're just talking about how, God has his systems for how things work, and nature works according to the divine arrangement of the Lord. And when human beings try to interfere with that system and make their own system, which is not a natural system, then the consequences are not very good.
So, you said oil. So what oil is like good? You said canola is bad for you. So like what's like a really like sacred, like really good oil, you know?
And the best thing is ghee,
Ghee?
according to Ayurveda.
Like
The most
like
healthy.
the clarified butter.
Yeah,
Okay.
according to Ayurveda, the best like fat for cooking in is ghee. And then, yeah, apart from that, any natural oils, like sesame oil, coconut oil, olive oil.
But as far as like spiritually and like Krishna, like what is like a really like sacred or really good oil, you know?
Krishna likes ghee.
Ghee? He likes ghee. Okay. He's like fat. Okay. Like that is right.
Dairy, you know?
Right. Okay.
His father has 900,000 cows.
Oh, and that's why the drink is the in the temple they got like it's like a milk drink.
Caritamrita.
Yes.
Yeah, they actually bathe the deities with milk, yogurt, ghee.
Okay. I didn't know that.
So because cows are considered sacred and all the products from the cow are also considered pure.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we're continuing with this purport. Probably do you have a question?
I had one thought after reading this. I realized that, we just go to the fridge and get the milk, but I feel a sense of respect towards cow now after reading this, that oh my God, they are giving their own milk to us like a kid, and we should how respectful we should be. Like right now we just forget and we take it so much for granted, this milk which we are getting, but it is coming from a mother.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really nice when I was living in Vrindavan for a while. We had our own cow. So we were taking care of our cow and we would milk her twice a day. And it was like, when you drink, we boil that milk and drink the milk and make yogurt and make butter and make ghee and everything from the cream milk. And yeah, it was just so nice. It was like really nice. We loved the cow. And every time we drank milk, we were like, her name was Kalindi. We drink the milk and be like, Kalindi ki jai.
We should do this.
All of her contributions. They're just so great. Enriching our life. Very proud of us. It's very loving, it's like a loving exchange. Yeah, now the way that the world is, we're so far separated from sources of production that everything is just a product. Okay, Runa, would you like to read matter?
If matter were accepted as the original cause of creation, all the authorized scriptures in the world would be useless. For in every scripture, especially the Vedic scriptures like Manusmriti, the personality of Godhead is said to be an ultimate creator. The Manusmriti is considered the highest Vedic direction to humanity. Manu is the giver of the law to mankind, and in the Manusmriti, it is clearly stated that before the creation, the entire universal space was darkness, without information and without variety, and was in a state of complete suspension, like a dream. Everything was darkness. The Supreme Personality of Godhead then entered the universal space, and although he is invisible, he created the visible cosmic manifestation. In the material world, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is not manifested by his personal presence, but the presence of cosmic manifestation in different varieties is the proof that everything has been created under his direction. He has entered the universe with all creative potencies, and thus he removed the darkness of the unlimited space.
There was darkness, and then the Lord entered the universe.
Let there be light.
Huh?
Let there be light, right?
Yeah, he illuminated the universe, and then he arranged for all the ingredients and the engineering and the structuring of all the different planets in the solar system, galaxies, and all the bodies of all living beings and everything. So, yeah. Would you like to read the next paragraph, Jason?
I'm sorry, no, I
Okay.
really don't.
You're happy to listen?
Yeah, I'm really enjoying listening right now.
Okay, go ahead then.
The form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is described to be transcendental, very subtle, eternal, all pervading, inconceivable, and therefore non manifested to the material senses of a conditioned living creature. He desired to expand himself into many living entities, and with such a desire, he first created a vast expanse of water within entities. By that process of impregnation, a massive body appeared. blazing like 1,000 suns, and in that body was the first creative principle, Brahma, the great Parashara Rishi, has confirmed this in the Vishnu Puran. He says that the cosmic manifestation visible to us is produced from Lord Vishnu and sustained under his protection. He is the principal maintainer and destroyer of the universal form.
Yes, so some people might argue, oh, well, if God is present, if God entered into this universe and he's existing within the universe and he's maintaining it, it's all staying in order because he is keeping it alive, keeping it going, just like the soul keeps the body going. Then where is he? Somebody can challenge like that.
And where is he?
Where is he? So Valdeva Dibusha is saying that the form of the Lord is very subtle, it's all-pervading, it's inconceivable, and non-manifested to the material senses of the conditioned living creature. So that's us. We are the conditioned living creatures here in this world. And so that form is not manifest to us in our conditioned state. But when we become purified by the processes. How are you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
See you too. I'm sorry.
When we become purified by the processes of devotional service, then at a stage of spiritual purity, then we get introduced to the Lord. The Lord reveals himself to them.
You came perfect time too. You're the next chapter or paragraph.
Oh. You have it?
Yeah.
What is it? Or you right here?
Go ahead, sir.
This cosmic manifestation is one of the diverse energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As a spider secretes saliva and weaves a web by its own movements, but at the end it binds up the web within its body, so Lord Vishnu produces this cosmic manifestation from his transcendental body and at the end winds it up within himself. All the great sages of the Vedic understanding have accepted that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original creator.
Yeah, so we were hearing about that in the last chapter, how during the creation that this whole cosmic manifestation exists for the time of one exhalation of Lord Vishnu, right? So basically he exhales and the material universes all come into being, and then he inhales and they're all wound up again, and cosmic annihilation takes place. So of course that happens for him. It's an inhalation and an exhalation. For us, it's millions and millions of years, right? Billions of years in between each manifestation and non-manifestation.
Then it's like he's so vast and it's like time is like meaningless to him. So it's like we're just like that. But I feel like Krishna like loves everyone. So it's like even though there's like everyone's like so like that's a lot of people.
That's why he wants us to get back to the spiritual world, which is not created and annihilated again and again.
Okay, please.
Like, why are you staying here in this thing that just like you get spit out and sucked in, spit out and sucked in? It's not what you're meant for. You're meant to live eternally and enjoy eternally in the transcendental realm with other eternal blissful bliss. So yeah, that's what we're being encouraged to do. But yeah, you compare it to a spider. You've seen a spider, how like the web comes out of the spider's body, and sometimes the spider will kind of like retract the web into its body and like zoom up the web. So yeah, the universe comes out. Okay. You there, Jet?
Oh, I guess you froze us exactly when you said that, so I didn't hear it.
Oh,
Okay. It is sometimes?
Yes.
It is sometimes claimed that the impersonal speculations of great philosophers are meant for the advancement of knowledge without religious ritualistic principles. But the religious ritualistic principles are actually meant for the advancement of spiritual knowledge. By performance of religious rituals, one ultimately reaches the supreme goal of knowledge, by understanding that Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of everything. It is clearly stated in Bhagavad Gita that even those who are advocates of knowledge alone Without any religious ritualistic processes, advance in knowledge after many, many lifetimes of speculation, and thus come to the conclusion that Vasudeva is the supreme cause of everything that be. As a result of this achievement of the goal of life, such an advanced learned scholar or philosopher surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Religious ritualistic performances are actually meant to cleanse the contaminated mind in the material world, and the special feature of this age of Kali is that one can easily execute the process of cleansing the mind of contamination by chanting the holy names of God. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Ram, Hare Hare.
Yeah. So, yeah, all philosophy and all cultivation of knowledge is meant to bring us to the point of realization of God, right, of the soul. And all rituals, also all religious rituals, are meant to purify us and also bring us to the point of understanding God, Krishna, the soul, the soul's eternal relationship with the Lord. And he's saying that in this age, it's very simple because we don't have to do a million rituals and we don't have to spend lifetimes speculating over philosophy, but we just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. This transcendental sound vibration is so powerful that it gives us the result of all rituals and all speculative paths of knowledge. It's like Prabhupada says that if you have a 100-story building, you can go up the stairs, and it might be good exercise, but it's going to be tiring and it's going to take a lot of time and it's hard work. But you can just get in the lift and zoop, within a matter of seconds, you're on the top floor. So these other processes are like taking the stairs, very tiring, and you might not make it. Whereas bhakti is like getting in the lift, push the button, chant Hare Krishna, and you're on the highest platform. So this process is the best thing in this age when our lives are short, when we're very distracted, when we're very disturbed, when the whole world seems to be against us. It's a very practical process. Ajit, is your better half there?
She's on the phone, sorry.
Okay. Would you like to read, Michael?
Yes. A Vedic injunction states, Sarve Veda Yat Param Amanati, Tikata Upanishad 1.2.15. All Vedic knowledge is searching after the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Similarly, another Vedic injunction states, Narayana Paraveda. The Vedas are meant for understanding Narayana, the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the Bhagavad Gita also confirms Vedaisa Sarvair Aham Eva Vedya. By all the Vedas, Krishna is to be known. Therefore, the main purpose of understanding the Vedas, performing Vedic sacrifices and speculating on the Vedanta Sutra, is to understand Krishna. Accepting the impersonalist view of voidness or the non-existence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead negates all study of the Vedas. Impersonal speculation aims at disproving the conclusion of the Vedas. Therefore, any impersonal speculative presentation should be understood to be against the principles of the Vedas or standard scriptures. Since the speculation of the impersonalist does not follow the principles of the Vedas, their conclusion must be considered to be against the Vedic principles. Anything not supported by the Vedic principles must be considered imaginary and lacking in standard proof. Therefore, no impersonalist explanation of any Vedic literature can be accepted.
Yeah, so Krishna says himself that by all the Vedas, he is to be known. Right? Vedaischa sarver aham eva vedya. So if after studying the Vedas, one comes to some conclusion that, the absolute truth is just void or impersonal, then they missed the point, right? They failed to actually realize the ultimate purpose of the Vedas, what the Vedas are pointing to. So that platform of understanding is temporary. They can't stay there. They can't stay on an impersonal platform. even though they might be realizing that I'm a soul, I'm not this body, and all that, but because they don't understand the Lord, they don't take shelter of the service of the Lord, then it's unsustainable.
I got a
Yeah.
unrelated question. So there's like symbols or like drawings on the tree that are like beautiful. What are those?
Oh, it says Sri Radha.
Which means what?
It means, you know, when you go to the temple, so there's Krishna, the
Mhm.
black one on the left, and then there's a female counterpart.
So I thought
That's
Krishna
Radha.
was the white one this whole time. I just realized that he's the black one.
Yeah.
And it's like because I was holding it like backwards, and I guess I didn't realize. But okay,
Krishna's the male one.
yes,
No. So Radha,
but the female's bigger.
no,
No,
she's a lot smaller than Kalachandji.
maybe I'm blind. Okay, never mind. Keep going. So the symbol on the tree means what?
It says Sri Radha. It's just glorifying the feminine aspect of God.
Okay.
This is Radha, this is Krishna.
Okay, I guess. Okay, yeah, I guess I thought they were switched. That's crazy. That is crazy. That's kind of embarrassing. So, anyways.
Okay, Nikesh, would you like to read if one tries to nullify?
Sure. If one tries to nullify the conclusions of the Vedas by accepting an unauthorized scripture or so-called scripture, it will be very hard for him to come to the right conclusion about the absolute truth. The system for existing two contradictory scriptures is to refer to the Vedas, for reference from the Vedas are accepted as final judgments. When we refer to a particular scripture, it must be authorized, and for this authority, it must strictly follow the Vedic injunctions. If someone presents an alternative doctrine he himself has manufactured, that doctrine will prove itself useless. For any doctrine that tries to prove that Vedic evidence is meaningless, immediately proves itself meaningless. The followers of the Vedas unanimously accept the authority of Manu and Parasara in the disciplic succession. Their statements, however, do not support the atheistic Kapila because the Kapila mentioned in the Vedas is a different Kapila, the son of Kardama and Devahuti. The atheist Kapila is a descendant of the dynasty of Agni and is one of the conditioned souls. But the Kapila, who is the son of Kardama Muni, is accepted as an incarnation of Vasudeva. The Padma Purana gives evidence that the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vasudeva takes birth in the incarnation of Kapila and by his expansion of theistic Sankhya philosophy teaches all the demigods and a Brahmana of the name Asuri. In the doctrine of the atheist Kapila, there are many statements directly against the Vedic principles. The atheist Kapila does not accept the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says that the living entity is himself the Supreme Lord and that no one is greater than him. His conceptions of so-called conditioned and liberated life are materialistic, and he refuses to accept the importance of immortal time. All such statements are against the principle of the Vedanta Sutra.
Right, that's a very long purport. Yeah, so here the point that Prabhupada's making is that the Vedas are to be accepted as the conclusive truth because they emanate from the Lord himself. So, for example, Bhagavad Gita, right, is in the Vedic tradition. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is directly speaking, and he's speaking about many things, but one of the things he's speaking about is himself, right? He's saying, listen carefully because I'm going to tell you some very confidential knowledge about myself that even the great sages and demigods don't know. So, listen carefully, Arjuna. So, we have this beautiful book in which Krishna, God, is telling us about himself. And yet, some people come along and say, no, don't listen to him. I'll tell you who God is. Right? That would be like, I'm sitting there telling you something about myself, and then somebody's like, hey, come over here. Don't listen to her. I'll tell you about Prabhupada Priya. Right? It's like, I think I know myself better than you do, right? Especially if you don't like me. What are you going to say about me?
Okay.
So, yeah. So there are some people out there that are envious of Krishna, and they're like, no, don't listen to what Krishna says about himself. I'll tell you about Krishna. Don't read the
I feel like
Vedas.
it'd be like the energy vampire type people. It's like they want to like display it through their lens, so like they get some of the,
Yeah.
weirdness. Anyways.
Right. Yeah, so that's what these people are like. They're just like trying to basically suck the blood out of people for their own, their own reputation, name and fame and all that. But anyways, the truth always comes out in the end. Right? And Krishna is the absolute truth, and Krishna is always going to prevail. And these people are considered to be like fireflies, Prabhupada says glowworms. So at night, when there's the sun is set, and especially a cloudy night when there are no stars, then you see some fireflies, right? In the summertime, we see fireflies flying around, and the light of those fireflies is very prominent, right? Like it catches your eye, right? It's attractive. But when the sun comes out in the morning, it's shining with all of its glory. Then it's not that the fireflies aren't there, but you don't see them. No one cares about them. No one thinks about them. They're insignificant. So Krishna is like the sun, and when the sun of Krishna is glowing in the sky, then the comments of these atheistic commentators becomes insignificant. All right, that was a very long purport. So let's go to the next verse, text 16. Apane purusha nishvara nimita karana advaita rupe upadana narayana. Ayushi.
I think she said she's busy. She's got some work to do.
Go ahead, Divya, then.
Okay, thank you, Prabhupada Priya. Lord Vishnu himself is the efficient nimitta, cause of the material world, and Narayan in the form of Sri Advaita is the material cause, upadana.
Yeah, so here the word is karana, right? We have a friend here that sometimes comes to class. Karan. Karan means the cause. Krishna is called Sarva Karana Karanam. Is the efficient cause. He's the cause, the ultimate cause of all causes. And then from him expands Narayan. From him expands, Narayan in the form of Sri Advaita, who is Mahavishnu, Karna Dakshay Vishnu. And he is the secondary cause of the universe. Nimittam Shekare Teno Mayate Ikshana Upadana Advaita Karena Brahmanda Sridana. Kritika, are you able to read? Otherwise, I'm reading. Lord Vishnu, in his efficient aspect, glances over the material energy, and Sri Advaita, as the material cause, creates the material world. So Lord Vishnu glances over it, and with his glance, he invests all the potencies and all the ingredients, and then Advaita, in the form of Mahavishnu, then he starts to work with that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that, the difference between Lord Vishnu and Narayan?
Lord Vishnu are basically the same. Lord Vishnu and Narayan are the same. But he's talking about, Lord Vishnu being the ultimate cause. See, because, the first expansion from Krishna is Balaram. And then from Balaram expands the Chaturvyuha, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Pradyumna. So that Vasudeva is Lord Vishnu. Then from that Vasudeva expands another Chaturvyuha, and then from that one expands Karna Dakshay Vishnu, is Mahavishnu, or Narayan. So I think he's using this kind of nomenclature that Vishnu is the original Vasudeva, and then after some consecutive expansions comes Mahavishnu, who is Advaita Acharya. But he's also Vishnu Tattva. So he's also Lord Vishnu, but he's like a successive expansion. But it's like in the Brahma Samhita, it says that there are all these expansions of Lord Vishnu. And it's just like if you have one candle, from that candle you light many candles and they all burn with the same brightness. And then after some time, you don't know which one was the original candle because they all look the same. Right? So in the same way, all these Vishnus expand from the original Vishnu, but they all have the potencies of Vishnu. And at the end of the day, it's like, which one's Vishnu? Which one was the original? It's not that important. Right? But we know that Krishna is the origin of all of them, right? Because Krishna is distinct from all of the Vishnus. In his form, in his pastimes, and his qualities. The Vishnus have up to 50 qualities, transcendental qualities, up to 60 transcendental qualities, but Krishna has 64. It's 4 that are unique to him alone, that are his special qualities of sweetness. His Venu Madhurya, Leela Madhurya, Bhakta Madhurya, and Rupa Madhurya. His very sweet form, his sweet pastimes, his sweet loving devotees, and the sweetness of his flute. Ajit, do you have a question or comment?
Just to clarify, so when we say Narayan, we're specifically speaking of Karanadaksha Vishnu or
Not necessarily.
Any
Not
Vishnu
necessarily.
can be called Narayan.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just used like that here.
Okay.
We're on text 18. Yes. Yadyapi sankhye mane pradana karana jadahite kabunane jagat shrishana.
Although the Sankhya philosophy accepts that the material ingredients are the cause, the creation of the world never arises from dead matter.
Bija Shishti Shakti Prabhu Sanchare Pradhane Ishware Sakte Tave Haite Mane.
The Lord infuses the material.
Yeah, the Lord infuses the material ingredients with his own creative potency. Then, by the power of the Lord, creation takes place.
Without the potencies of the Lord, then nothing happens. Advaita Rupe Kalai Shakti Sancharana
In the form of Advaita, he infuses the material ingredients with creative energy. Therefore, Advaita is the original cause of creation.
Advaita Acharya Koti Brahmanera Karta Ara Eka Eka Murti Brahmanera Karta.
Sri Advaita Acharya is the creator of millions and millions of universes, and by his expansions, as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, he maintains each and every universe.
Yeah, because as Mahavishnu, he lies down in the causal ocean and all the universes just come out of the pores of his body. Like so many bubbles in the ocean. And then he expands and enters into Sri Narayana Mukhya Anga Advaita Anga Shabda Amsha Kari Kahi Bhagavata. Michael?
Sorry, I'm a bit behind. I'm working at the same time.
Okay. Do you want to pass or do you want to read text 22?
Yeah, just have a few verses to pass. 1 second. Sri Advaita is the principal limb, Agna, of Narayana. Srimad Bhagavatam speaks of limb, Agna, and as plenary portion, Hamsa of the Lord.
And we have a quote from Srimad Bhagavatam. Narayanastram Nanisarvadehina Atma Siddhishakila Loka Sakshi Narayanam Narabhutalaya Taschapi Satyam Natavaiva Maya. Nikesh?
O Lord of Lords, you are the seer of all creation. You are indeed everyone's dearest life. Are you not therefore my father Narayana? Narayana refers to one whose abode is in the water born from Nara, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and that Narayana is your plenary portion. All your plenary portions are transcendental. They are absolute and are not creations of Maya. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10:14-14.
Canto 10, chapter 14 is Lord Brahma's prayers after steals the calves and the boys, and then he's asking the Lord for forgiveness and he's glorifying him, realizing, oh my God, I thought you were an ordinary boy playing in Vrindavan, and I just realized that you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the creator, maintainer, and destroyer of the universes. And, and he's like, "Oops." So now he's expressing his realizations. You are the seer of all creation. You are everyone's dearest life. You are like my father. All of these expansions come from you. Ishvarela anga amsha chit anandamaya maya sambandha nahi eshoke kaya. Divya?
This verse describes that the limbs and plenary portions of the Lord are all spiritual. They have no relationship with the material energy.
So all these expansions of the Lord are all Chid Anandamaya. Chid means eternal existence. Ananda means transcendently blissful. So material things are temporary and inanimate and dull matter and not very blissful. But the spiritual energy is opposite. It's very eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. So all these expansions of the Lord are eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. And we, as small souls, are parts and parcels of that Supreme Soul. So we also, in our constitutional nature, are eternal, full of knowledge, full of bliss. But unfortunately, right now we're covered by material conditioning, so that we are not in touch with our transcendental knowledge that's inherent in the soul. And so we're confused and distressed in this world. Okay. Amshana kahiya tena kahatandri anga. Amshahate angayate haya antaranga.
Why has Sri Advaita been called the limb and not a part? The reason is that limb applies greater intimacy.
So anga, there's different words for the expansions of the Lord. It can be called an anga, which means a limb, or an amsha, which means part. So yeah, part is like a machine part that you can take it out. Right? You take a part out of the machine and put it over there. But anga, a limb, you can't, a limb of your body, you can't just take away, like it's attached to you. It's very intimate with you, your being. So yeah, Advaita Acharya is very intimate relationship with the Lord. Oh, it's 5 o'clock.
Oh.
Wait, let me do this last one.
One more?
Yeah. Okay, Sri Advaita.
Oh yeah, this is the Bengali.
Okay, Sri Advaita, who is a reservoir of virtues, is the main limb of Advaita, for he is identical in all respects with that Lord.
All right, Shri Advaita Acharya ki jai. Chapter tomorrow, learning more about Shri Advaita Acharya. And what we're doing now in this audio deal is we're understanding who these personalities are in Tattva, in other words, in their ontological positions. Because later we're going to hear so many pastimes. We're going to hear about how all these personalities interact with each other in such sweet ways. So we need to really understand who they are, so that we can really appreciate their interactions and their teachings and their loving relationships with each other. Okay, Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki
Jai.
Swami ki
Jai.
ki
Jai. Hari Hari Bol.
Haribol.
Jai.